Whenever we are discussing the course of the communicable diseases, we must know how it gets transmitted from the humans to the other healthy individuals, from the infected individuals to the other healthy individuals. Basically, when we are concerned with the coronavirus, it's basically an air droplet infection. People, when they sneeze or when they cough, they get the surrounding objects infected, and through these surrounding objects, the infections can travel to the healthy individuals. So this is how it can get, a normal healthy individual can get infected by this coronavirus by touching the infected individuals or by coming in close contact with the infected individuals, or either by touching the objects which have the coronavirus attached to them. So these are the particular modes of transmissions in cases of the coronavirus, and that is why it is advisable to wear masks, and specifically for those who are coughing and sneezing frequently due to any reasons, because right now, it is not possible to test each and every person for the positivity of this particular virus. So it's better to take precautions, and if you're coughing or sneezing, just cover your mouth and nose. And it is very particular for the individuals who have the acute infections at this state. For healthy individuals, it is advisable, of course, to wear masks, but it is not not a very recommendable precaution. Instead, they can use hand sanitizers quite frequently to get their hands sanitized. And if you cannot get hold of their hand sanitizers, then you can just wash your hands properly for at least 20 seconds in a right manner. So that can basically make you more preventive or more precautionary against this particular disease of coronavirus. So over here, we'll just go through the typical methods in which this coronavirus can get transmitted to the normal healthy individuals. As I've already mentioned the fact that it's an air droplet infection. So people having this disease, or even when you get your hands on a particular patient and you're asking a complete detailed history, you would ask the patient if he has fever, cough, and flu-like symptoms, and if he had been in close contact with an individual who has traveled to the particular areas, for instance, China, Malaysia, Thailand. This travel history is very important when you have these particular patients. And then one of the most important things that you have to ask these patients in the history is the fever. So the history of fever is also very important over here, because almost in 80% of the individuals who were suffering from this particular coronavirus infections were reported with fever. So fever is one of the major symptoms over here. Then coming in contact with a person who was already a diagnosed case of coronavirus. So this makes you more vulnerable that this particular individual might be having the coronavirus infection. So as general physicians, when you get the patients who have the acute respiratory infections, you would ask these particular history questions in detail from these patients, and that is going to highlight a lot of factors. Whether or not you're going to opt for the PCRs in this particular case, which is basically the final diagnostic test in cases of coronavirus, the history is going to reveal a lot of factors over here. So the air droplet infection is one of the modes that we have to consider over here. Moving on, coming in direct contact, and that is why WHO has basically recommended that shaking hands should be completely prohibited right now, because this is one of the major ways this coronavirus is transmitted from the infected individuals to the healthy individuals. So coming in close contact, either shaking hands or either hugging, physical contact is basically prohibited in cases of the coronavirus suspicion particularly, because this is one of the major ways of transmission that we have to consider. Moving on, the contaminated objects. So it can be any of the food items, and even it can be the normal daily routine items that we can touch. There are a lot of surfaces and a lot of research has been carried out in this purpose. Coronavirus can live up to almost 12 hours on the metallic objects. So it is advisable not to touch any of the objects which are metallic, or even it can resist on the fabrics as well. So these are the typical objects and the materials that it can live upon for even hours. So this is again very important to clean the objects and disinfect the objects from time to time, just to basically make sure that the objects are clean enough and they do not cause the communicable disease of the coronavirus to the healthy individuals. Then animals, it was once thought that pets can also transfer this particular disease of coronavirus. And so basically even to socially isolate your pets is something that is very important. If you have pets at home, you will have to basically socially isolate them as well. So these are the different modes of transmission, and why is it important to acknowledge these modes of transmission over here? Because to prevent this disease from further spread, it is very important that we get to know all of these modes of transmission. This is how we can get control on this pandemic situation that we're facing right now. Now, the circulation with camel population, it was one of the reservoirs, it was one of the secondary reservoirs in cases of MERS. The potential viral source was bats. So the bats basically were the primary reservoirs, and they transmitted the infection to the camels, and the camels further on transmitted this infection to the humans. This was one of the situation that was faced in cases of MERS. That was the Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome that occurred in almost 2012. Then we have the zoonotic transmission, which basically occurred through the camels. We have the healthcare associated transmission. So it's again very important that even when you're working as the healthcare providers, it is your basic duty to sanitize from time to time when you're taking care of the patients, even when you're taking the cultures, or even when you're taking the normal vitals of the patient. You just have to sanitize your hands. You have to wear proper masks, and you even have to wear the proper protective equipment, even if you're just carrying out the normal procedures and you're coming in contact with the patients, because sometimes the people or the individuals are in the incubation period. The incubation period for the coronavirus is almost 5 days. During this incubation period, they can be symptomless. Maybe they're not suffering from cough or fever or flu at all, and you're not even suspicious of the fact that this particular individual can be the cause of transmission of coronavirus. But still, you have to take the precautions right now. In this pandemic situation, it is very important that you have that protective equipment, that you're wearing, you're covering your head, you're wearing your goggles, and you are basically wearing your gloves and covering your face with the masks. This is very important, because when you get in contact with a patient who is basically the cause of the spread of coronavirus, and then you treat the healthy individuals, you yourself can be the cause of the spread of coronavirus. So educating the healthcare providers is again very important, because they themselves are at stake, and they can basically be the cause of further spread of this coronavirus disease. The household transmission is one of the ways, and that is why it is again very important to educate the individuals regarding this household transmission as well over here. So educating the mothers is again very important, because they are the caretakers at home, and they are responsible for the transmission at times. As I've already emphasized on the different transmission modules, I discussed that there can be a local transmission, there can be a community transmission, and then we have a lot of imported cases as well. So just to deal with these imported cases, it's very important that you know the travel history of the individuals that you're dealing in with, or you are carrying out a particular procedure with a patient and you're coming in contact with that patient. The travel history is very important right now. So taking the history and physically examining the patient is very important over here.